It's the end before it's the beginning. Check.
Before the end.
It's the end before the beginning. Beginning and the end. Check. I forgot to do. It sounds great. It's making everything buffer. Like it's upset. I have to get rid of that and just use my phone.
So, yes, we have been gone for a while, mainly me. And that's okay.
Everybody. That's not. Yes, we have been gone for a while. There you are. You hear yourself again.
That's okay.
All right, that's okay. Wrong button.
That's okay.
Other button. Wrong button. Okay. So I have been wanting to do this since he got back in the October 2nd. See, welcome back. I have been wanting to jump on here with the YouTube thing and do something like vintage film reviews because they're like educational commercial films and they're hilarious and it's very interesting to dissect. And you disappeared. Where'd you go? What did you do?
Yeah,
that was funny. So
I'm gone.
Dealing with a lot of personal stuff and why it takes time to get to that point of either jumping into it or just dipping your toes in the water. Yeah, he ghosted me. You know what? If I turn this on, I ghost myself. I was trying to fix my lighting issue and hopefully my camera works because it didn't work while he was gone. And so far, it's working while he's here. Technology knows when tech support's in the house not to mess around. So, hey. We got Ezra.
Superstar. And Bex.
Superstars. The superstars. Mm-hmm. That's right. From last time. So, we're going to do our usual thing. We're going to roll an intro, and then we're going to get into these, I want to call them sociology type films. It's mostly ones, even the commercials. I've done ghosting myself. Even the commercials are really interesting. Lined up, and I buffered. We got 3 lined up, and we're just gonna go with energy flow, time frame, whatever. We're just going to flow with it. We're kind of jumping in at the same time, not jumping in, just dipping our toes. It's a mixture of both.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yep. The doors are open. Welcome to the Vintage Film Theater. And we will see you right after this preview here, I guess. What are those called?
It's an intro.
Yeah.
The warm-up. The
warm-up.
Get up and take your thing.
Yeah. And it's always fun. You know, it's kind of bouncy. So, all right. We'll see y'all.
That's been happening a lot, Ezra. That's been happening a lot.
You're listening to Radio Cosmos. Time to join
Joe Cool and JJ Organics.
Lucky winner of the Gemini Croquette Contest. Coming at you live from Floston.
Joe Cool, who I see in many different live streams. Joe Cool is a cool dude to have on all the live streams. This dude is there.
I was trying to click on one and then somebody else puts it and then it slides. And when I click, the other one pops up. Like, yeah. Ezra said we were looking good, like we had some rest.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
we look so restful at times. And then not. I think when we don't look as rested is when we wake up, with or without coffee, we just so haggard. I was just reading one. Where'd it go? There. Was that it? That is. You both look good. Like you've been getting some decent rest. I would say it might have to do with not just the personal stuff and it drains on you, and that it was keeping us away from the YouTube stuff as well. So less technology involvement might have given us some rest also. We're kind of hanging out, not doing nowhere near as involvement as we used to. That might have something to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I had a lot going on, but I think I'll leave that for a different stream because that's just too much to get into. But I would say that I think I got some of that Michigan paleness back again because I think some of my tan left me when I left Florida.
Something left. Now, when he got to Michigan, that day that you've left here, it's only like 3 hours, not even a 3-hour flight.
Yeah, it's about
Your
a
screen
half-hour flight.
So, when you got there, it was like September 5th, and you got there, and it was sunny, and it was 80 degrees. Like you took Florida with you, right? And then the rest of the month until the day you left, it was crappy Michigan weather. And then the day you leave, it warmed up again, typically.
Yeah, it wasn't very nice.
But
Michigan weather. I am glad not to be there anymore. That's for certain.
Weird sauce.
What's
the weird sauce comment, Ezra? Is that for my anomaly oddity tag name? Oops, I have to this way. I'm not good with the reversal. The weird sauce. That's what I feel like changing this to, is saying weird sauce. And then I'm thinking of secrets in the sauce. And I only know that from the movie Fried Green Tomatoes. Void. Hi, Void. Who is this? Who this is? This. I'm
Who
JJ.
Is this?
That's Joe Cool. And you've been around mostly, I think, Bex's channel.
Yes, I believe so.
I've seen your name around. I've heard your name. So Ezra, I think, but Bex has always done a lot of live streams. And
yes. And you landed on a vintage film night, which we're gonna jump into here shortly.
Yeah.
And
so
it'll be lots of fun and laughs, and so I guess bring your popcorn.
You bring your popcorn, and be careful sometimes. We play it and talk about it at the same time. This film is from the 40s. It's educational or commercial. There's something going on with a lot of it. We've done 2-3 others before, and I see this thing where the problems we have today are the same as yesterday, even in the 40s or even the 20s. Aside from if we find some good footage of walking around town from stuff like that, which I think the only one we did was the Canadian one with Bex and Frankie, and Bernie was supposed to be there. That had more of landscaping, city view. This
that was fun.
Yeah, so we have 3 films lined up. Hopefully we get to them all, and we're hopefully going to laugh more than anything. But maybe we'll expand on our laughter and have some deep thoughts.
Yeah. So
to my personality, morbid thoughts. I'm getting more in touch with myself and being more honest with myself.
Yeah.
My weird ass personality. Not too creepy, just weird. So the weird sauce comment is definitely resonating with me. Anyway.
Ready. So to the theater in the show. And
there is an intro. It is the old. Okay, that came out of nowhere. That had nothing to do with it. Could be someone's great grandparents. Look at that. Not Common Core math.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I hate those pencils. You know, like load the lead.
I think that was a way to get out of the school work. He's like, well, I'll just fold my binder and call it square. I'm done.
He was so frustrated over his lead getting stuck. Oh, babe, pause it again. Remember how I was just talking to you about what 12 inches is? And there's those videos out there where even carpenters can't guess how long 12 inches is on a ruler. And I was telling you, when I was in school, I was so bored. I would take my ruler and just try to hold it in my forearm. I'm bored, right? Without holding it. And I could put it in my elbow pit to my palm and you just walk around like that. Because you're like 3rd grade and you're just damn bored.
Oh.
I envisioned Bambi just prancing through the field, just all happy, meets Thumper and Flower. Uh-oh. 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 I didn't do that. Uh-oh. The principal's office.
Yes, Jim, what is it?
Well, Mr. Evans, Miss Black wanted me to bring this to you.
Oh?
don't you sit down, Jim?
When you were sent to the principal's office, sorry. When you went to the principal's office, at one point or another, even me, got in trouble once in a while. You were sent to the office. Were they ever that calm and understanding with you? I never really got in trouble. But to the point of being sent to the principal's office, there was no relaxed, oh, let's hear your side of the story. It's all authoritative and hellfire's coming. Foo-foo.
I understand you have an unusual pencil, Jim.
Yes, sir. That is, it's nothing special.
But you're rather proud of it.
It has my name on it. I won it in an essay contest.
May I see it?
Oh, it's a special pen.
Personally, I think that something like this is better for carving.
Uh-oh, the contraband. Is that what it's called? The contraband comparison of the contraband. Now, how nice of it was for him to tell him this is better for vandalism. You should know better.
Wow.
You won the special pen, apparently a pencil pen. It has your name on it. And he's like, it's very disappointing to see you use that in such a way. This would be better. No, than dismissed, right? Just
If
dismissed.
you really want to carve it, use this. Oh.
Fix the desk, Mr. Edmonds. I'll sand it down and refinish it. You won't be able to tell where I scratched it at all.
That's a good idea, Jim.
I'll begin today after school. What else do you want me to do, Mr. Edmonds?
Dude, he is like pissing himself, and all he said was a knife would have been better. I think he scared him just showing him though. That's like not even a knife, it's just a little toothpick of a blade, and that kid is pissing himself. Wow.
Perhaps you can help me with the problem. I'd like your advice, Jim.
My advice?
Yes, I've got quite a serious problem.
My mind's in the gutter. I'm like, serious problem? Yes. You brought a toothpick to a knife fight.
Yes.
I was like, size comparison, right, Ezra? We're gonna do that fun, silly debate about size matters. Oh fuck!
There are a great many young people in the school, Jim. Each is an individual, but in one important way, they're all alike. They're all growing up.
Some of us are still 12.
Mm.
I just made the comment about size matters.
Is that the problem, Mr. Edmonds?
Yes, growing up is a problem.
We have solved the world issues right there. Once again, from a video from the 40s. Growing up is the problem. Okay, we can cut it. We can cut it right
Becoming
now.
an adult is the problem. Oh dear.
Because, well, I remember one time I watched some of the boys play ball. You've probably seen it too.
That sounds
The boys
inappropriate.
were all about your age. In years, they're young men. But sometimes in their behavior,
They act like children?
that's it.
Yes,
The
they
boy batting struck out, and what a fuss he made.
do.
He was a
Fuss.
young man
Look
in
at
years,
that.
but the way he behaved was more in keeping with a 5-year-old. When you see a child do the same thing, you think, oh, well, he'll
I
grow
love
up sometime. But at 15 or 16, this boy was still reacting the same way. He was still
I mean, sometimes when you have too much laundry to do and it's just a domino effect of a day, yeah, I'm going to throw myself down on the laundry and just looking for a portal to get sucked into. I'm just done, right? Just life, because growing up is the problem.
showing violent temper when little things went wrong for him.
Pull your hair out. Pull your
So
hair
the
out.
question is, why doesn't he grow up? Why does he still behave as a child?
You know what? That scene right there, yeah, grown baseball players. It makes the news every year. It makes the news every year, if not TikTok news. I mean, if not mainstream media news, TikTok news, I'll call it. Where parents at the Pee Wee games, the Little League games, I can't even talk now. I'm so excited. Parents cross the line for poor sportsmanship. Lord Racer has asked you a question, Joe. I feel like I say that Lord Racer. Like, I should change my name to Lord JJ or what is it? Lord and Lady. It's a lady. Has asked you a question.
A short answer is I ended up leaving the state of Florida, palm trees and beaches, to go to Michigan and stay there for a month. It's taken some time to deal with the atrocities that the Michigan weather can bring one person. And now I'm back to Florida. So, yeah, I have to regroup.
He's doing a lot better this week. That's why I said, okay. I walked up to him around 5 o'clock, our Florida time. And I said, guess what? We're going to do a live stream. And he's like, what? I said, I could tell you're doing better. You're feeling better because it was family issues on top of it. The Florida weather, the Michigan weather, and it reacclimating. I said, we're going to do this. We're going to jump in the sense of dipping our toes. And we're just going to roll with it.
Now, really quick, I would say when I left Michigan, the low was already like 42 degrees. And I was like, no, I got to go. Got to go. Get me on that plane. And luckily, it wasn't too far after that. So I'm glad I got out of Dodge, so to speak.
I'm just glad he should have never left, was my opinion. But that's all, as Joe said, that's a whole nother stream for us to talk about.
That's a long stream.
The compromise of him going was not, I'm supportive of him, but I didn't want him to go. And then obviously the whole duration of being there was like a shit show. It's a whole nother stream. So anyways,
I did not throw myself on the floor and whine like the kid.
No, your family did.
Like this episode did, but my family did apparently. So
this is a good one.
Leave it like that.
This is a good one for Act Your Age. The video is called Act Your Age. And for a lot of stuff I see on YouTube and family. Besides laundry, Act Our Age, and Little Leagues. Now, I hate saying Pee Wee, but Little League games, parents lose their shit over, they're preschoolers or first graders playing football or soccer, and they lose their shit, just like in this video. It's ridiculous.
How can we help him get rid of these leftovers from childish behavior?
Leftovers.
That sort of behavior we call an infantile reaction.
Well, whatever it is, it spoils the game for others. Why can't he act his age? I guess scratching a desk.
Oh, wait, where is it? Do we have that up here? I don't think I got rid of it. Do you know what I'm thinking about? Why can't he act his age? Why? Where is it?
Why, Mr. Anderson? Why? Why do you persist?
That's what came to mind.
Spoils the for others too, eh? That's what I'd like to know, Jim. Well, you know what to do about the desk. But now this pencil. If you were a first grader, I'd just keep it, wouldn't I?
Oh, but Miss...
Oh, you're not. So suppose you start fixing that desk. Come back for your pencil when you feel you're ready for it.
Yes, sir.
Goodbye, Jim.
You forgot to hand him the little toothpick.
Hold on. He just said he wants him to fix the desk that he carved into. What is he gonna fix that? What, you don't fix a carved in desk.
Back in the day, they were made of wood, not
So-
laminate wood. Wood.
Right.
So
it's like
yeah,
particle board wood, isn't it? Or something like that.
no shit back
Or-
then was made like legit.
Well,
Sturdy,
yeah.
strong, like damn near like oak wood or cedar, some good stuff. Yeah, you'll see it.
But to fix it. Okay.
Yeah, he scared himself with a little toothpick of a blade. So I'll fix
Why
it. I'll
can't I
fix
act
it.
my age? That's a good one.
It buffed, and the kid's face looked like, I saw it. I don't know if anybody else did. It is that time of the month or that season of the month. It for a split second, did anybody else see Michael Myers or Jason? He's wearing the overalls. Look like, because it buffered. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Oh well. Fix up the desk and forget about the whole thing. Pencil gone? Oh yes. Maybe one of these pencils will do it. Hey,
you're more like you're gonna bust your hand with that pencil doing it like that. Oh man, see, this is what happens when we don't hands-on learning of trades and I want to say physics, like heavy, hard, large object. Hey, Mr. Super. Super's here. Super lives in
Hey,
Michigan.
Super. Yeah. I wasn't able to catch up
unfortunately-
to him, unfortunately, but never say never. Both of our families are up there, so there's always
We're having
always
a lot of
more opportunities.
buffering issues. We're lagging and buffering because you cut out several times, babe. And even the video we're sharing is like buffering. So it's a good jumping in, getting the kinks out, I guess, because it's just lagging, distorted, buffering. It's annoying.
no use getting sore. That won't open the can. Hello? Oh, Mr. Olson.
Need some help, son?
Why, yes. You have a knife or something to open this?
Yes, I guess so.
Is that the light switch? Look how high up it
Using
is.
yours to carve up a desk, I see.
No, a pencil.
Bright crop of young fellows in this school. Every day think up a new way to act like babies. Never grow up. Still little boys playing with marbles. Pencils, knives, pulling girls' hair. Well, there's no sense in
Pulling
cleaning up
girls'
here
hair.
until you're through. I'll come
We're
with it.
Neanderthals.
Still little boys. Playing with marbles, eh? Huh. But maybe it's true. Remember what Bill did yesterday. He was sitting right there. I guess he thought no one was looking when he took Gene's notebook. Was he cheating? Childish thing to do. That's a child's way out.
We haven't changed.
Okay. How many people cheated in school? Come on.
How many people
I'm pretty
cheated?
sure darn near Ed.
I did one better. I
And-
just refuse to do it sometimes. Can I pull your hair? Oh my god, yeah. Just acting like little 5-year-olds, you spoiled little 5-year-olds, you immature little 12-year-olds. We're just never gonna grow up. We're just what is it? Just heathens. We don't know any better.
Fling rubber bands at each other. Pop.
Pop, pop, pop. Oh, spitballs.
And there was Phyllis the other day. She seemed to be worrying about something, and when Miss Black called on her, and she wasn't ready with an answer, why, you'd have thought it was something terrible that had happened. She almost cried,
She's a
just like a little girl.
I cry like a little girl.
Yeah, that's it. An infantile reaction. Why
She was
don't we
worried
act
about
our age?
something. Can you worry about something? I want to say, okay, I want to say, how am I going to say this? She was worried about something. Is that the same as the other kid who stole a notebook for answers? It is cheating and lying and stealing the same thing as worried about something. That was a great comparison. I think I've also solved another problem. Is worrying is the same guilt trip. I almost said sin, but I'll try not to use like sin. I'll use sin as stealing, lying, and cheating. Shame on you. You were worried. How
I'm going
dare
to talk to
you?
Mr. Edmonds again. After school tomorrow.
I've given it a lot of thought, and, well, I'm not the only one, Mr. Edmonds. Everyone seems
Not
to
the
act
only
childish
one.
sometimes, but I don't understand just why.
That's resourceful.
Well, it's partly
Sign
because of the
language.
way we grow up. Your body's growing up now, Jim. You're growing much taller these years. But it may be some years more before your shoulders really broaden out and you become fully grown. Growing up emotionally is much the
Come on, honey, flex for us. Show us what it looks like to be all grown up.
same. Different parts of our personalities grow at different rates. Some of us never grow up entirely.
So one side of a fellow's personality could be grown up, and another still infantile. Is that right?
Yes.
It's a
For
spectrum.
example, you've seen the girl who always has to win an argument.
Oh,
Most
yeah.
of the time, she behaves like a young lady. But let someone disagree with her. Well, she might just as well be 5 years old. We see reactions like
adorable.
this with young children.
She really wants to hit him.
Then there's the fellow who can't take a joke. He laughs as hard as anyone at most jokes, but when the joke's on him, watch out.
Watch out now.
His 5-year-old brother would react the same way.
You better watch out. I'm gonna sucker punch you with the a mini micro knuckle sandwich. I get what they're doing. It's just really funny watching the 5-year-olds.
Oh my goodness.
Going.
Oh. I don't even know.
Oh my gosh. It's so relatable.
You took my lunch money. You took
Like I
my
said-
sandwich.
So these are somebody's great grandparents. Grandparents are,
Oh.
yeah, grandparents. I would say grandparents. These are somebody's like grandparents. This is the 40s.
There's the boy who constantly shows off to gain attention.
It's Joe Cool.
There's the girl who cries over trifles. Then remember,
Apparently
there's
that's
the
me.
ball player who becomes violently angry when he loses out.
Dag nabbit, darn tootin', why I oughta.
Those are some of the many infantile reactions we see around us every day. They indicate that a part of one's personality isn't growing up with the rest. Now, what we need is some method of measuring our growth.
My
Yes.
arms are longer than my legs. my
That just sounds so dirty. Growth. Girth. Gotta measure their growth.
Comparing various parts of our personalities.
Say, I have an idea, Mr. Edmonds.
He has an idea. And he looks possessed. Look at where I paused it.
I think I can figure out my age. Anyway, I'd like to try.
Just a minute. Don't you want your pencil?
It's just too funny. Look at that. I always pause things with weird facial expressions. If that's the principal or guidance counselor, like they went to college or read a really good book on and actually understood the depths of personalities. That we all have different personalities and the maturity growth level of everything that he said. I'm sitting here going, this was in the 40s and we are 90 years later and we still act like, because of mainstream media, we still act like we don't know any better to be understanding. But then if there's he was accountable for his actions of what he chose to do, even though he didn't realize what he was doing. Then he realized it. He was ashamed. And he was like, I'll fix it. I'm sorry. And I'm sitting here going, why do we still walk around like we don't know how to interact with people? That we have different personalities. And then he's going to go figure it out for himself. And I'm like, you're like 14. You had a 2-minute conversation with principal and you're 14. Like you graduated some Ivy League, I know everybody's personality and I can help you with your problems situation.
No, sir. I'll wait until I know how old I am.
I'm going to earn it back.
I don't know how old I am. I got to go figure it out.
Let's see. How old am I? When someone disagrees with me? When someone pokes fun at me? When I want attention? When I am confused? When I don't get what I want? There. I guess those are pretty important times to watch out for infantile reactions. Now to rate my age today, and then see how well I can grow.
Oh, hello, Mr. Olson.
You again? Carved up another desk already?
No, I'm just trying to figure out how old I am.
Ask your mother.
No, I mean how old I am and the way I behave.
Oh, don't rate yourself too high.
Oh, man.
The acting is just superb.
Wow.
I've always enjoyed the acting in these films. They're just top-notch, Oscar nominating kind of. Yep. Animatronics.
Will I?
No, this is too important.
He's staring at the lame pencil, wishing he had his fancy
I
pencil.
thought of it 2 days ago, so I made several copies of this and had my parents rate my age in each of these points, and my best friend. My rating wasn't exactly high in some places.
But it looks like a good rating system. What do you do now?
Well,
What do you do now?
here, for instance, where it says, how old am I when I don't get what I want? I rated myself 10 years old. And my dad put it even
25?
lower than that. So I'm going to get in the habit of controlling my temper. And maybe
I'm
next month
25.
I'll have a better rating. And by next year, I want to catch up with my real age.
That's something to look forward to.
I'll see. Well, I'm not going to tell you
I'm
all
not
my
catching up
ratings,
to my real
but I
age
thought you
next
might want a
year.
copy of this.
I certainly would.
It's
I think
ingenious.
everyone here should rate himself and have his friends rate him this way. To make sure
Oh.
he grows up evenly.
And gets rid of those infantile reactions.
Don't we rate each other on social media right now? They don't know what's coming. It's going to be catastrophe to ask for other people's inputs over and over again. Be like, hey, Bex, Esra, Lord Racer, Void, Super Sidewinder, can you rate me? And Joe Cool, like, you rate me, I'll rate you. We got nothing better to do right now. Oh, See, it's so relatable.
Actions. I think I'd like my pencil back now.
It's there on the desk.
I think I earned it 2 days later.
Oh. Thanks. Thanks, Mr. Edmonds.
How old are you? Wouldn't you like to try rating yourself on a sheet like this?
Right? Old school Facebook, TikTok, like social media platform. Piece of paper and a pencil. What movie? Most of the 90s movies, they had a notebook and they shared and talked about oh, don't jump into it. I was just removing it. I don't know how you have all the buttons. I can only edit the name. Was it like The Duff? It was like movies like The Duff or She's All That, and I think even Mean Girls, maybe, before phones and computers had to do as much as they do. I'll say as much as they do. It was a factor on AOL with some chat platforms. I only heard about how bad it could be watching Law and Order because we didn't have a computer with AOL and those chat platforms. I didn't know that was possible. For like 10 years, I was sitting there and they're like, internet crimes of bullying. There's no laws for it. I'm sitting there going, internet crimes. What's a chat on the internet? I know you're talking with somebody, you can have a chat. It's so funny to think that I'm still behind the times. I still feel like I'm catching up. But yeah, notebooks. Piece of paper. Where is my notebook?
Well,
I have one
I know
right here.
after
Hang on. Oh,
seeing
I got
that,
a fancy one. I got a fancy one. I'm reaching for it. I have to. There we
seeing
go.
those
That's fire trucks, y'all. This is like first through third grade. This is a hot. It won't even show up. This is like 5-star quality, fancy smanchy. The notebook. See the line paper? Notebook. This was the original social media, Facebook, to shame people of even in your yearbook, who was most popular, who was most likely to succeed. We've been shaming people since the dawn of time, especially even in yearbooks, not even just notebooks, to have the book passed around and get everybody's feedback, especially with the crowd of
yeah, and you get this a lot too.
Dare you, sir? How dare you? No, how dare you? No, how dare you? How dare you? No, how dare you? You dare to damn me? How dare you? How dare me when how dare you?
So, yeah, very interesting. With the first film, it was a warm-up. It was a good warm-up. The next film is called Don't Be a Sucker. And you're not going to believe where it goes, where it starts and where it goes with. And you said you have the film on your page, babe?
Yes, I believe my channel, it's under videos, and I believe I've had it there for a duration.
You keep freezing.
But, that's weird. Yeah, I got it under videos on my channel. Don't Be a Sucker. So
I will stick with the word shame. The word shame is the blame shame game. Blame shame game? The shame blame game? The shame blah 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 blah. I'm good. This one I would say could almost be definitely harder to laugh with. I will find my other morbid angles probably to bring up other ideas to roll with. Is it ready?
Ye-
Don't be a sucker.
And
Hey-ho, Silver, away!
Forewarn you. Hang on, pause it. I will forewarn you. I have pre-watched it. The Don't Be a Sucker is going to have offensive / vulgar, I want to say vulgar, but offensive slang words. So I want to say slang or derogatory. What's the word I'm looking for?
there's so many.
There's so many offensive. I buffered, but offensive is the main word. There are words that are going to be used to describe other people that, even for me, I just looked at it, I was like, oh, and I had to think to myself, again, it's from the 40s. It's from the 1940s. It is a film. It's an educational film to bring to light a problem. I think they execute the talking points very well, but just a forewarning. Some people, I'm sensitive to it too, but I'm not sensitive to the point of not talking about it. I just probably won't repeat the words sometimes because
Yeah, so
I
don't
have
throw a
issues.
tantrum and throw yourself on the floor and
I
start,
can if I want to. I have issues. But just a fair warning of it's not swearing cuss words. It's
probably a little more derogatory, maybe.
derogatory slang, or
So it's
just
all right.
the energy in which it's delivered. There's a point to it. So educational.
Henry, he couldn't see any harm in a friendly game of cards. What if the other men were strangers? And take Joe Collins. He's got a nice wife at home. But he met this girl at the bar, and she looked, after the first couple of drinks.
Get it, Joe. I'm the PI detective. That investigate the crimes. Poor Joe. He got swindled.
There's a good old-fashioned word for people like us. We call them suckers. And there are other people. People who stay up nights figuring out how to take away what they've got.
Evil.
There are all kinds of game. Mike, he's young.
Which is
he's
buffering.
Healthy, got a job. And he's got plenty of food. Big factories to make things a man can use. Big cities to do the business of a big company. And people. Lots of people. Enough to work the farm and build the factories, dig the mines, run the business. All kinds of people. People from different countries with different religions, different colored skin.
Referring on the
They can
important
live
parts.
together and work together and build America together because they're free.
America.
Free to vote, to say what they please, go to their own churches, to pick their own jobs. Yeah, Mike's got something, all right. He's got America.
America.
But there are guys who stay up nights figuring out how to take that away from him.
No rest.
I happen to know the facts. Now, friends, I'm just an average American.
Aren't you?
I'm an American. And some of the things I see in this country of ours make my blood boil.
What the heck is an American? Is that being like born in this country and then maybe in a Christianized version, born again in this country? Because I'm American.
I'm a double American.
Even they're like, huh? I'll sit there going, hey. Girls. Oh, he's like,
and some of the things I see people with foreign money. I see Negroes holding jobs that belong to me and you.
man,
Now I
bold
ask you, if we allow
statement.
this thing to go on, what's going to become of us real Americans?
I've heard this kind of talk before, but I never expected to hear it in America.
This fellow seems to know what he's talking about.
Was that audio feed? Did you hear that audio feed? Problem?
Yeah.
You were frozen again. We're having so many issues. Even the computer's upset with this man with what he has to say. So yeah, you're up there on a little podium, little pedestal, just shouting out your opinion. There's no facts. Excuse me. This is a repeated problem. Just shouting out your own personal view opinion as if they're facts, and then to get more like people to join your bandwagon is a big problem. Do I need to back it up, unfortunately? Or do you think the audio is fine enough to hear?
We're good now.
I know we're good now, but he was having a hissy fit like a 5-year-old. He's like, I'm American. I'm like, can I see your paperwork on that? I want to see your papers. What makes an American American? Because we're built on all kinds of differences. I'm like, differences make America. Let alone Earth. That's just Earth. We need differences. This guy's up there. I'm a 5-year-old man. I didn't say that, right?
God.
I'm a 5-year-old having a hissy fit looking like a 45-year-old midlife crisis. Midlife crisis.
What are we real Americans going to do about it?
Nothing.
You'll find it right here in this little pamphlet.
We don't do
The
shit.
truth about Negroes and foreigners.
Ah.
The truth about the Catholic Church.
Do you believe in that kind of talk?
Wait for it.
And I tell you, friends, we'll never be able to call this country our own until it's a country without.
Look at that face.
Without what? Yeah, without what? Without Negroes.
No.
Without alien foreigners.
No.
Without Catholics.
Ah.
Without Freemasons.
What?
You know these people.
What's wrong with the Masons? I'm a Mason.
And there we have a problem, folks. We have a problem. What's wrong with Masons? They even put it in the film from 1940s. Don't be a sucker. Be a Mason.
Hey, that fella's talking about me.
Is he?
And that makes a difference, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
These are your enemies. These are the people. Now you know them. You know what they.
Sit there. Stand there. I always say sit there. Sit there and tell somebody who their enemy is. Sit there. Look at that. Little bitty crowd. It's a production. But art imitates life and vice versa. We still have this problem now. This was back in the 40s. This was supposed to be, the guy's going to get into it after the major number 2 issue with the world.
Stand for, and it's up to you and me to
Just an apron.
fight them and destroy them before they destroy us.
Depending on your level, it's a fancy apron. One guy.
What's more funny is, again,
One guy.
You said this is like the 40s, and I'm sitting here going, I'm pretty sure most of them walking around are technically foreigners who came across the boat, Columbus. I'm like, really? I'm like, we're all foreigners here.
We're
What are you
all
talking
foreigners
about?
and we're all natives.
Oh my gosh. I'm just like, man, that's funny.
Well, one guy clapped. He got some. He's in on it.
Before he said Masons, you were ready to agree with him. Well, yes, but he was talking about... What about those other people?
What about him?
But in this country, we have no other people.
Like
and people.
What about you? You aren't American, are you?
I was born in Hungary, but now I am an American citizen. And I have seen what this kind of talk can do. I saw it in Berlin.
What were you doing there?
Berlin.
I was a professor at the university. I heard the same words we have heard today. But I was a fool then. I thought Nazis were crazy
fool, I
people,
say, a
stupid
fool.
fanatics. But unfortunately, it was not so. You see, they knew that they were not strong enough to conquer a unified country. So they split Germany into small groups
Division.
and to cripple the nation.
Divide and conquer.
Of course, that was not easy
Head
to do
game.
it. You see, we human beings are not born with prejudices. Always they are made for us. Made by someone who wants something. Remember that
wants
when
something.
you hear this kind of talk. Somebody is going to get something out of it. And it isn't going to be you. This is not classroom theory. I saw it happen.
Ah, I was trying to pause it. Did it pause? Okay. Classroom theory. That has been called something else. I think they added a word in the last 3 or 4 years. I forget, but it's the class. The same problems of yesterday are today. Nothing's changed. Nothing's going to change. Is it? Is it?
I saw it first in Berlin in 1932. 5 young men that I knew were standing in the crowd listening to the Nazi speaker. Eric was a Catholic. Anton, a student of mine, was a Jew. Heinrich owned a small hardware store. Karl was a farmer. And Hans was an unemployed metal worker.
All Bavarian Germans,
Maybe.
I say it is time you inherited the nation which rightfully belongs to you. To you alone,
Did you-
glorious destiny of the greater Germany. The Nazi Party will provide land for the farmer, work for the worker, and profits for the small businessman. These things now. The Jew. The Jew who has stolen our nation and our birthright.
Ah,
Who makes all the money and
I'm
takes
gonna
all
walk
our
away
jobs?
like he's turning into a zombie.
He must be shunned. He must be ostracized. He must be... And the Catholics. We don't want our great nation run by a foreign church. We Germans will
Foreign
know what to
church.
do with these people when the time comes.
I've never
They and their
heard.
faith
I've never heard the Catholic Church referred to as a foreign church. That was the 40s, right? But the Catholic Church had been around for a while. They still call it a foreign church? Or did they do that on purpose? It's a headspace game. They told you it was a foreign church, was it? Because you're all foreign no matter what. Because we're all originally like nomadics, are we? I like to travel. I feel like traveling's in my blood. It's in my genes. I want to travel. I want to go here and everywhere. That's what people do. We travel. And if you're still single, usually you'll hook up with somebody in another country. So we're all just related.
must be destroyed. Then there are the Freemasons.
Uh-oh.
In Germany, we have no place for secret societies.
That's right.
There will be only
Shame.
one society, and that is the Nazi Party.
Oh,
there
no,
will be
he's
no
infected
secrecy
too.
about that in the new greater
He's
Germany.
infected.
One by one, he attacked each minority and he split them off one from the other. These men were all fellow Jews.
They were made
No.
the same age, but as far as I know, Columbus was not Catholic. Could have converted. I don't really know. Funded. I think he was just funded by the Catholics of one of the kings at the time.
Suspicious of each other, hating each other. They were being swindled, all of them.
They so suspicious.
But the man who was really being fooled was Hans. He was pure German, according to Nazi standards. To him they promised, and he fell for it.
According to the standards.
That's how Hans became a Superman. They gave him a uniform and they pumped up his ego. He wasn't just a little fellow out of work anymore. He was a member of the master race.
He had the right hair,
Thousands of others
the
like
right
him,
eyes.
all playing a sucker's game. They gambled with
The
other
sucker's
people's
game.
liberty. And of course they lost their own. A nation of suckers.
That is one heck of a
Hitler needed these
soundstage.
people. There was lots of work to be done. There were unions to be smashed, because unions were organized and might often.
Bad unions.
There were many political parties in Germany. These the Nazis destroyed. They were determined to smash every organization where people might band together and resist them.
That's a good
wow.
pause. It's really intriguing to me that if you look pretty much throughout all of history and all wars, conflicts, civil wars, national wars, anything that has
Street
to
war.
do with that,
YouTube
it's
street
an
wars
irony
way.
to me because they always pin the citizens against themselves because they all
12.
know, in the big buildings, they all know that if the citizens actually banded together under one race, humanity, and it would annihilate the problem, which is not us, the mid class, lower class, so on and so forth.
It's a mindset.
It is a mindset.
We do have
but
problems
every
in each
single
class.
time. They always divide. They always say that there's this division, that division. No, there isn't. There's only a division if we allow it to happen. But I can walk outside, go through the streets, go through my store, go everywhere, and I see no division. I can talk to everybody, no
It
matter
is a happy
anything.
place down here in Florida.
So
unless you just
we
the
have
struggle
to not
is really
allow
just
the division.
people who are struggling to keep and hold a job. It becomes just people of all shapes and colors trying to keep a job and put food on the table and pay the bills. That's the only main problem. But then they're like, why is it still a problem with that? So they can cause division, and they stand there and say it's that individual or that group of people. That's why you can't put food on the table. And I'm like, nah, I don't believe you. I'm calling your bullshit. That card game. I never played it. I saw it. Like, you just smack the card, you go, bullshit. I don't follow that idea.
There were Jews to be beaten and killed.
Oh my god.
They were a convenient excuse for all the
See,
nation's
and
ills.
like,
And
watch again.
besides, a
This
Nazi
is,
party member could not take over this man's store.
this is like the only time it's horrible acting.
Hundreds of
because
Catholics were put in jail because the Catholic Church had strength and could
poor old
resist
guy
the Nazis.
in the film.
They had split the nation into 100 pieces, and then one by one, they had destroyed the pieces. Over these broken pieces, the Nazis rode into power. One party, one nation, one religion.
So they had unity.
These men
All
had
that division created unity. Right? If you divide many pieces, is that the opposite of like those math problems of equations? I'm looking at my door as if my door could answer my question right there. I have to look away and go, my thought of saying something funny of fractions, that's the word, right? Math, fractions. We have to divide it up, chop, 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 chop. And then we'll have unity. Because, oh my gosh, I was just watching Grey's Anatomy. You were watching Grey's Anatomy with me, and I'm catching up in the series, and I have hit the pandemic episodes, and one of the doctors is isolating at home, and he doesn't live with anybody, so he's going stir crazy, and they start playing this video game. It has to do with an apocalypse of a disease like World War Z with Brad Pitt, right? So something's taking over. How do you solve it? Do you come up with a vaccine? Do you have herd immunity? Or do you just blow it up? And he gets a visit once in a while, and she's like, how did you figure it out? How did you save everybody? What did you do? And he goes, I blew it up. She's like, you killed everybody? And he's like, it was the only way to survive. And I was sitting there going, I think that's my morbid sense of humor, laughing with it and getting that, yes, there is so much truth, and just blow it up. We have no more problems, right? But we have unity of the elements. I think that's the only thing that would exist.
Won their struggle for power. They now ruled all of Germany. But still they had trouble with their oldest and most persistent enemy, the truth. They found that truth does not die easily. And so they decided to abolish truth. One great source of truth is literature.
That's right.
So
We'll blow it up. See? Fire!
50 million of them. Many great men in Germany who were spokesmen for truth failed or driven from their country. Teachers, writers, scientists. Education was
They were
discouraged.
driven.
In up 53%. It was forbidden to listen to a British radio program.
It's forbidden.
Or read an American. In Nazi Germany, you had
No
to
reading.
get your information from
Very
Dr.
oppressive.
Goebbels. He knew what was best for you.
Say gurgles.
The church was one force in Germany still strong enough to proclaim the truth in public. This Catholic priest was arrested the following day on charges of
This is like reverse
immorality.
psychology. The church was telling the truth.
Protestant church also continued to try and fight for truth. The Nazis put men in a concentration camp. There were others who spoke for truth, and I am proud to say that educators were among them.
And what may I
We have the same fucking problem today.
I don't know myself. But let us see what our present so-called authorities have to say about it. They say he is tall.
The superior race. He says it again. I was supposed to say lean.
Blue-eyed
Blue eyes.
and blonde. There is no
my brows.
Aryan race.
Aryan. That's what it's called. Aryan race.
There is no master race. There are people who may
People.
find these ideas convenient.
Shiny people.
But science cannot support them. There is no scientific proof that there's any correlation between a man's racial characteristics and his
They're like,
native ability.
uh-oh, how dare you challenge our indoctrination? Doesn't he look like the KFC guy?
He is not Colonel Sanders.
He's the colonel! He looks like the
No.
colonel. But did you see the faces? I know they're acting, and it's like it's a skit. But seriously, you like sit there, and if you're told something, and for years, obviously you accept what you're told. Very few of us sit there and go, I wonder if there's another idea. And then you finally hear the other idea, and you're like, ooh. And you see everybody else is terrified, and you're the only one excited, and you're like, oh, I'll keep it to myself. Mm-hmm. This talkie is learning me wrong.
All racial groups.
It's okay. They're going to
find the
escort him away
same
shortly.
Range of potentialities. We find idiots and geniuses. We find criminals.
Idiots.
and
Did he just call idiots idiots? That's almost like nicer to say. You're just an idiot, not a gidget, but an idiot. Or maybe that sounds like engine. Like Indian? Maybe. Okay, I just won't say nothing at all.
We must judge each man.
I didn't do it.
You know, it's ironic of
Oh,
what he's
back it up.
saying though, because it is absolutely true though that we shouldn't judge people obviously by their skin color or hair color or hair or nose or eyes or mouth
Did he
or
say
size
that?
or how
It buffered
tall
on
or
my
how
end.
short. Yeah.
Oh, I backed it up anyways.
Yeah. So
We find idiots. and
Idiots?
geniuses.
Ah, that was good.
We find criminals.
Criminals.
And philanthropists.
I love accents.
We must judge each man as an individual. And not by the color of his skin, or his eyes, or by the length of his nose.
We disagree. We judge on noses. We nose.
yes, it's like, again, it's irony to me that this particular problem is all throughout history, which is
Never ending.
judging someone by their character. For some reason, throughout the entire history that we know of, and even before that, apparently there are.
I was judged in my own
It's
family. Yeah, it's so funny because I'm the youngest of 3. My brother, my sister, then me. My sister stopped growing. I grew taller than my sister. She's like 5'5", and I'm 5'9", and I got judged in a humorous, ridiculing way after a while. It's like a process. It's like a spectrum of whatever. It's like, and then the other body aspects of saying we get judged. If it's eye color, I'm blue, she is green. I was strawberry blonde. I have all colors in my hair. I even have the red, but she's a redhead. But she's 5'5", red, green eyes. And I was 5'9", blonde hair, blue eyes. Ooh, I said it right. I kept messing it up earlier. I kept actually saying blue eyes with, or what did I
Blue
say?
hair.
What? But I kept saying blue hair. I kept blending the hair and the eyes. I was like, how dare you be blonde hair with blue hair and blonde. I kept talking about blue hair. I have purple hair. So I just went all in. By the time I was 17, I just went all in of saying, if you feel like you're being shamed or judged by your own family members, your mom, your dad, brother, sister, cousins, whatever, I'm just like, I'm going to go all in. You're going to be so proud. Hot Topic was my store to go all rebellious of just, if you're going to call me that, I'm going to show up like that. I didn't show up like that before, but now call a black sheep a black sheep. I'm wearing it. I still am. I'm still the cutest one ever.
Come in, gentlemen. It's comfortable.
It's comfortable. We're talking about
And
acceptance.
remember that there is no master race. That is a scientific truth. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying.
That was a sissy slap. I judged him on that. He should have sucker punched him, grabbed his head and knocked him to his knee.
For all practical purposes, truth had been abolished in Germany. A lot of my German friends wondered what had hit them. How did it happen?
Intimidation.
Where did it start?
Threats, the mob.
It started right here. And this was where it could have been
Town
stopped.
Square.
If those people had stood together, if they had protected each other, they could have resisted the Nazi threat. Together they would have been strong. But once they allowed themselves to be split apart, they were helpless.
The double-edged
When that
sword.
first minority lost out, everybody lost out. They made the mistake of gambling with other people's freedom. Now let's see how those bets paid off. Karl the farmer was gambling on a better life for himself. What he got was extra hours of back-breaking work, as much as 100 hours a week. He was forced to stay on his land and produce what he was told to produce, because now Hitler was preparing for war. For Heinrich, who owned a hardware store, the bet didn't pay off either. 104,000 small businesses were closed in 2 years.
Does that not sound familiar? I mean, like 3 years ago, familiar.
Well, you know, due to the
2 years ago. Last year?
Yeah. Due
Does
to
that not sound
the
familiar?
worldwide, you know what we're talking about.
Pandemic.
You know, lockdowns, right? Obviously,
Schlockdowns.
businesses, mom and pop stores, all closed up shops for good.
Because
Lives
shut 'em
were
down.
ruined due to this atrocity here. And, you know, history repeats itself, right? So, due to what we're talking about,
I don't know what you're doing.
I know you don't know what's going on.
I don't know what
and
you're
that's
doing.
okay. I
The
know you
film
don't,
wasn't
and
over.
that's okay. That's okay, because I'm just gonna throw this in
What
here.
are you doing?
I'm gonna throw it in here. It's okay, everybody. Here we go.
There it is. Zeke is going to stand up to the man.
Yeah, but we can forget about him.
Grasshopper.
It was just one ant. One ant. Yeah, you're right. It's just one ant. Yeah, boss. They're puny.
Puny. Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant. Did that hurt? Nope.
Did that hurt?
How about this one? Are you kidding? How about this?
Avalanche. That's my face in the morning.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up.
Stand up.
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about
freeloading.
Oh, wait. What did he just say there?
Our
Hold
way
on.
of life.
And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life.
Wait, whose way of life? Oh,
Our,
all the
their.
guys in charge who, you know, oppression. Oh, those
The
guys.
ones in the high tower.
It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
Yep.
That's why we color outside the lines. We show that rebellion since preschool. Screw a little bitch.
Okay.
And for Hans, conditions hadn't improved any. He had a job now in the munitions factory, but he worked long hours for little pay. The working conditions grew increasingly bad. And even though he didn't like the job,
No more
he wasn't
unions.
permitted to leave it. And when
The
Hitler
right to work
decided the
country.
time was right, Germany went to war. Not by declaring war, but by a carefully prepared sneak attack. Once again, Hitler needed Hans to do his dirty work. Hans was an expert at brutality this time. And Hitler had decided to use Hans and his brutality against other peoples. The Czechs, the Poles, the French, the Russians. But in the crucial test of war, Hitler's race theories didn't pay off. His pure-blooded supermen were defeated by the mongrel armies he despised.
Mongrels. The mongrels.
By the British of El Alamein. By the Russians at Stalingrad. Then on D-Day by American soldiers of every color and religion who smashed across the Normandy beaches
America.
and drove on through to the heart of Germany.
That's the story though. Oh, that was awesome.
The Germans
See
who
that
had swallowed
before.
the Nazi bait, the Nazi game did not pay off.
Yes, scurvy dogs.
The continent of Europe was strewn with millions of German bodies, pure Aryan bodies. Karl, the farmer, was left in the snow outside of Moscow. Heinrich stayed in Italy at Salerno.
They make it
And
sound like they're on
Hans, who was going
vacation
to rule the world,
with the image.
got only a little patch of Normandy that he could call his own. We must never let that happen to us or to our country. We must never let ourselves be divided by race or color or religion, because in this country we all belong to minority groups.
It's that simple.
I was born in Hungary. You are a Mason. These are minorities. And then you belong to other minority groups too. You are a farmer. You have blue eyes. You go to the Methodist Church.
Blue eyes.
Your right to belong to these minorities is a precious thing.
Mud for
You
all.
have a right to be what you are and say what you think, because here we have personal freedom. We have liberty. And these are not just fancy words. This is a practical and priceless way of living. It's work ethic. We must guard everyone's liberty, or we can lose our own.
Buffer.
If we allow any minority to lose its freedom by persecution or by prejudice, we are threatening our own freedom.
That's right.
And this is not simply an idea. This is good, hard common sense. You see, here in America is not a question whether we tolerate minorities. America is minorities. And that means...
Oh, he littered.
Let's not be suckers.
I mean, that's just
We
kind of
must not allow the freedom or dignity of any man to be threatened by any
the fan
act
speed
or
on.
word. Let's be selfish about it. Let's forget about we and they. Let's
Drop
think
them
about
pronouns.
us.
Oh my god. I mean, I should pull it off. America! Did I say it will not be shown to the general public? It's cut off. It's 90 years
I
old.
don't. That
think
is
we're
old.
okay. We might not be okay. They'll look at it later and they'll cancel this live stream too, like they canceled my other one. Because Shibuya, you can't roll call anybody. I got canceled over Shibuya. Oh man. So there was a lot. I guess I would say a lot on one hand. If that's a lot, then it's just very heavy topics to discuss. Demons. According to some, I myself am a demon. Quite an oddity that is, anyway. So, and I almost have no more thoughts on everything that was kind of said in that film. Besides, I was thinking of the Ant movie or Bug's Life. And I always get those two. I think it's ants. They're like the same.
I think it
There's the
is.
same struggle. There's the same struggle going on. No, it's a Bug's Life. Ants had to do with their own kind trying to do a population control.
Well, and it's again, that's well the
keep
upper
freezing.
echelons. The upper
I thought you
echelons, they're not dumb. They know how to divide and conquer. They've done it throughout history. So they know what they're doing. They know how to do it. The problem is that we allow it to happen for
Headspace.
whatever reason we deem necessary to allow it to happen. Because
And possession and
you
evil
know,
people. It's
but,
your headspace.
You know, during the lockdown of things,
It's your headspace.
you know, it destroyed lives living. I'm not saying that, you know, the death didn't happen, but there was more living lives, I would say, probably
'Cause-
destroyed out of that scenario than the other
What-
way around. It's bad.
After threats and intimidation was
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
they still had to fight against the truth. So Information is power, as G.I. Joe said in the 80s. Now you know, and knowing is half the power.
Yep.
I don't know what the power
as
is.
usual, they never tell you what you need to know during what agenda needs to be done. It always follows up after the fact, right? Like
My
years
hands are
later,
raised.
all of a sudden it comes out that, oh, that was a lie. Oh, that was a lie. Oh, that was
We got so many
falsified. Oh, that
lies.
was a lie. Well, it doesn't matter after the fact. They need to know then and there that they've been lied to. But come on, who's going to do that to get
They'll
their
never
way?
tell us. We have to either figure it out that it's all a lie.
We as a
It's all
we
a
as
lie.
humanity need smarter with our critical thinking.
You are constantly breaking up in my headphones. I don't know if it's the whole stream or just my feed in itself. So, on a lighter note, we do have a third film.
Yeah, no.
That's not a lighter note. That topic is not a lighter note. I think they lie about a lot of that stuff.
Hey there, second
It's
Joe.
Joking. He's just joking. I can't get that
He's
joke out of
just
my head.
joking. He don't have to go to bed. He's just joking.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Yes,
Okay. We do have one more.
On a lighter note. Photography. I have my own disclosure.
Photography is often called the universal hobby. It is a means of creative expression within the reach of people in all walks of life, and it speaks a language that everyone can understand.
Right?
The camera lens is a mechanical eye, seeing everything and recording everything. It captures actions that will never again be repeated. Used towards the strange activities of tiny organisms. With the X-ray, it reveals the structure or function of hidden things. If objects move too fast to be seen clearly by the unaided eye, the camera slows them down so that the action may be studied.
Yeah.
In contrast, hours of action may be compressed into seconds. Photography in one form or another exerts a great influence on our daily lives.
It's still buffering.
Photographs bring news reports to life. They strengthen the appeal of advertising. They provide entertainment for millions and are an aid to education. Photography can lead to photography as a career, and often does.
Manipulation.
But professional work calls for a lot more than just snapping pictures here and there.
Enticement.
For instance, consider the portrait photographer. To make a real success in this highly competitive field, the cameraman must be a
I don't think it's
practical
competitive. It's
psychologist
just fucking
who
expensive.
understands the personality of each individual he photographs.
It's expensive.
People want to look their best. In fact, better than they look. So the photographer must know all the tricks of lighting and of posing the subject.
The
To get
lighting
good
is
negatives,
key.
he must master the chemistry of photography. He should also know how to retouch negatives to remove wrinkles and blemishes.
Oh, we're gonna edit.
If he can't do this work himself,
Like an
pay
old
to a
hag.
hired retoucher. Making the prints is a most important step in portrait work.
Quality.
And good printing can only be learned through long practice and study.
Should wear gloves.
All the previous work and the success of the whole job depends on the final print. If it pleases the subject and her friends, it may lead to more business.
Word of mouth.
And a portrait man must keep busy if he's to make money.
Portrait.
The illustrative photographer's work calls
tray.
for a well-equipped studio and a great amount of skill and ingenuity. Each picture must be tailor-made, specification outlined by the art director of the advertising agency requesting it.
That looks like
An
a
illustrative
drawing.
photographer must be imaginative, for he never knows what sort of advertising picture he will be asked to make on short notice.
Get
Jobs
every angle.
requiring reproduction of outdoor settings or large interior scenes can only be handled by those who have big studios. But there are
Expensive.
many advertising photographs which can be made on
Look at all them
tabletops
parts.
or in close quarters. Making this type of picture gives the smaller operator a chance in the field of illustrative photography. The commercial photographer is often called a jack of all trades.
Oh.
He must be prepared to go anywhere to take pictures, in addition to those he makes in his
That's
studio.
my name.
Today, he may be shooting the exterior of a building for a real estate operator.
That's what I do.
Tomorrow, he may be in a factory
Jack of
making
all
a
trades.
series
It's
of
fucking
process.
expensive.
Yes, the commercial man's pictures are likely to include anything and everything. Machinery, food,
Pose for the
poultry,
picture now, click.
buildings,
click.
and so
Pose
on.
for the picture now, click.
Because
click.
of this great variety of work, the commercial photographer's field tends to overlap those of the portrait man and the illustrative photographer.
Yep.
Some of his shots may even be used by the press. But basically, press or news photography is a field in itself. Contrary to popular opinion, a press photographer's life is not just one big thrill after another. He does shoot exciting scenes from time to time, but such events are the exception. Most of his work is routine in nature, consisting mainly of pictures of people and places connected with the news. Nevertheless, the news photographer must work expertly at high speed and know what constitutes a news picture. Similar to press photography is newsreel work.
There I am.
But it is difficult to enter as a cameraman because the field is overcrowded.
I've done that too.
This also is true of theatrical motion picture production. In addition, it takes years of training and experience to master the complicated cameras,
It's
the lighting
expensive.
problems, and the use of special effects.
Oh man, that's a
And
lot
in
of shit to
spite of
clean up.
these rigid requirements,
It is a lot of work, but
and
it can be
opportunities.
so much fun.
but there are other
Yes.
jobs in motion
Billions
picture
of
production,
dollars.
not only for the theater, but also in educational, industrial, and other non-theatrical films. There are many small producers
Okay, even in the background with some of these films from the 40s, 20s, even of the silent films, they had what I call CGI, computer generated image overlapping. What is it called? Special effects. That's what it's called. Special effects with more editing and doing all that fun stuff that I can't do. But I can get you a great shot and an angle with proper lighting. I can do that. I do boots on the ground. I'm a jack of all trades. It just updated my name tag. It's gonna stay.
specializing in this type of picture. The whole field of photography offers numerous positions that do not call for actual camera work, but provide valuable training to those who want to become photographers. Laboratory or darkroom assistants and technicians have an opportunity to learn how to mix chemicals, to develop films, to retouch negatives, and to make
That's not for
prints.
me.
Studio assistants and cameramen's helpers have a chance to learn the practical side of professional work. They
If I
become
touch
familiar
chemicals,
with
I know I'll
equipment
just
which the
I'll make it
average
boom.
amateur doesn't use. They learn how lights are placed to achieve the balance between highlight and shadow, which is necessary for all good pictures.
That's right.
Working as a salesman in a photo supply store
Really
is
bad
another way to
lighting
gain
can make you look
experience.
old.
The best
very easily.
salesmen are those who know photography and are able to answer the customer's many requests for
You
advice.
ever open a bag like that? Just whip it.
Establishing your own camera
One of the
shop
best
or
tricks.
photo finishing service is a possibility for one who learns the business and has the necessary capital.
This is a salesman.
Another
commercial
possibility is
video.
working for one of the big manufacturers of photographic equipment and supplies.
It's still expensive.
These factories employ thousands of persons, from machine operators to highly trained engineers and chemists.
I want to say hi
Persons who are
ho.
interested in
Hey,
photography
ho.
can start it as a
We're
hobby
off
to
to
be
work
followed
we
during
go.
spare time while holding a job or attending school.
Mm-hmm.
Some schools have
Expensive.
photography departments and camera clubs. Many students acquire practical experience by making pictures for the school paper and yearbook. You can learn a great deal by reading the many excellent books and magazines on the subject. And there are numerous exhibitions where you can learn by studying the work of well-known photographers. There are private schools of photography in the large cities
It's even more
offering complete
expensive.
courses of training to prepare you for any type of professional still work. You may find that you prefer to photograph a certain type of subject. Many photographers owe their success to specialization. It might be still life, babies, animals, aerial views,
Aerial views. Except for I
Phoenix.
get nauseated.
railroads,
I can't fly.
medicine,
I need a
or
drone.
fashions.
I need a drone.
There is almost no end to special subjects, and some amateurs have made their hobby pay by
Candid
selling
pictures.
prints to photo
Best
syndicates
pictures.
or to
Candid.
magazines and newspapers interested in a particular type. Picture editors on the staffs of publications are always on the lookout for good pictures. And here, too, is another job for the person who
Always.
knows photography, the position of picture editor. This work is open to both men and women
many choices.
whose
I couldn't do that
background
either.
and training
Too many
fit
choices.
the photographic and journalistic requirements of certain publications. The photo engraving departments of publications and printing concerns offer still another type of work. Thus, the field of photography is broad enough to provide opportunities to thousands of persons with various aptitudes, interests, and educational backgrounds. New applications for photography are constantly being discovered, and new materials and tools are being produced. Just
Being
what place you might take in this growing industry depends on your abilities and inclination. But if you have a sincere interest in photographic work,
Has to
it
be
would
sincere.
be worthwhile to investigate the field carefully. Some phase of photography may become your life work.
My life hobby. It's expensive. If it wasn't for this, look at all my lenses. Click, click, pose for the camera. Now click, click. Yeah, I'm singing a Beyonce song, y'all. It's from 20 years ago.
You know, I could be wrong. I probably am, but I would almost say that back then they were way better at it than today because of how much, intricacy it took.
You
to
just that's
actually-
offensive. But you were that's offensive.
You can't say it was better back then.
Because that nowadays, like you pointed out, I was going to do that, is everyone has a cell phone now. Everyone just takes pictures. So it's
No,
like,
not everybody.
everyone is like a professional nowadays, I guess, or they think they are.
We're
I
all
don't know.
freelance amateurs. No, you still need the expensive studio camera, high quality. I don't even know what it's called. I just have my phone is actually my camera, and sometimes people call me on it, but that's not what I have a phone for. I have a phone for a camera. I don't like talking to people. I have issues. I have issues. I have issues. I'm working on my issues. This is how I talk to people.
Freeze! Don't be coming over here with no attitude.
Nah, I'm just playing. Yeah, I've yeah.
Well, if that's you, then this is me.
Trick me! And it's fine, but I know you tricked
Trick
me.
you?
You tricked me, hey boy. What'd you just...
I didn't trick you. You offered to help me.
Yeah, that's right. Now, if you're really good at photography, then it's like the jack of all trades, the ultimate job. Jack of all trades is even getting in there. More boots on the ground. How about going swimming?
Quit hitting yourself! Quit hitting yourself!
There are some camera jobs out there that just blow my mind of like, I miss my calling in so many levels. I'm good with landscaping. Not scaping, just landscape pictures, scenic. I need a drone to do aerial because I get dizzy and nauseous if I'm flying around. Basically, not good. Unfortunately. So that's the 3 films. We actually got through the 3 films. The 2 of them were 8 minutes.
good
The other one
time.
was 17. And did really good with talking through the film, trying not to pause it too many times. This isn't a movie theater, y'all. We are here to interrupt and to be rude and interrupt the film and go bullshit. I call bullshit. And also true, that is true. Depends on what they say and what they're showing. So, anybody else go live tonight? Anybody? Is it too early for anybody else to go live right now? This was all on a whim 6 hours ago. To jump in and get our toes wet. To roll with it, see how it goes. See if I told him I was fucking bored. I was like, "You okay, honey? You feeling better? You dealing with your family crap, your dad's health, your base games," and felt like he was doing better. And I said, "I am fucking bored. I need to see if I still want to do this, right? I want to see if I still want to do it. I know we can do it, and this is us." I said, "We can have fun doing it. No pressure. No real deep
No.
research here. It's too much pressure for real deep research, right? No." We can ease our way into it. I'm like doggy paddling. I said, ease our way into it. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much any time it ever, I guess it came up to possibly get on here and see what's out there. My answer pretty much every time was,
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
Yeah, pretty much. Just actually, you wouldn't even answer me. You just kind of. I mean, if I can read between the lines or mind reader, emotional energy, that's what I was picking up on. I can read that. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll say this was great. Your head tilt was funny. This was great. I had fun. I wish I had the energy and the brain capacity to go on for hours and hours and hours. I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me.
yeah,
This is my
honestly,
limit.
we probably would. In all reality, we probably would. But again, it's our first stream,
We
trying to
advertised
even
it.
get back into it. So
I can't even highlight that.
um,
That's the stupid thing. I can't highlight anything from StreamYard. It's sitting right there and it just hovers over like a bubble and I can't highlight the text.
huh.
Just
That's odd.
one of those problems that Canadian power. Canada. It's Canada.
Canada.
America. Our Northern American peoples. America. You guys are America too. Oh yeah. I'm tired. My brain is
Yep,
crashing.
already.
This
Well,
is me. Shits and giggles when I'm really tired, but I just slide off the chair onto the floor and I need like 5 minutes of crashing. So
alrighty, folks.
hi, but we're actually canceling out, right? Canceling. We're ending it. We're
Yeah.
canceling. Mixture of words.
Yeah,
That's
we're getting
right.
up on our
I
2-hour
got
mark
another song in my
here,
head.
so
Feedback.
we will.
feedback. Give us some feedback, y'all. If you saw the first video, give us some feedback. Rate us. Tell us all of our pros and cons, maybe whatever that list was in the first film.
Yeah.
Oh, how old am I? I buffered. Emotional maturity. How old am I? Give us some feedback. Oh my gosh. I had the feedback song in my head. There's a song called Feedback from Jackson. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Anywho. Oh, give him a wrench. Can you? I don't have my page up. Dragon. Can I do it from my phone? I can. You have a wrench now, and you can add your link. I didn't even realize to think about that. Or we could have said that in the very beginning. Dragon asked. I gave you one. Did it not? It showed up.
But why?
Say boo. Oh,
But
boo
why?
me. Boo. Give a wrench. Got a link to share for the they
That made
band. Blah 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 blah. See me crashing.
Yes.
You have 2 minutes to share the link because this brain has had it. It's going down, y'all. It's going down. Oh, we'll give you more than 2 minutes. There's a link. Do I link?
I think that's to.
Did I do the wrong one?
No,
I
I
did.
gave.
Oh,
I gave Sasquatch
that's right.
a wrench on my channel. So
I stare at StreamYard and our chats will blend, and I look down at my phone and I'm like, "What? Where?" There it is. There
Yeah.
it is. There it is. There is a link. I can't click on it. I have to click on my phone. Turn up. Can you hear that?
Yep.
That's the link. Dragon Sage. That sounds awesome. Wow. Okay. Can you bring that up? Do you have it open? I have to.
No, Dragon put that on your
I know.
channel.
Well, I'm just like, I have to open it up and it buffers and lags all the time. Where am I going? All right. If it lags, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. You sent more than one. Okay. That's the one I was looking at. Let me do. They changed the button on the audio share. Let's see if this works. You see it?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't hear it. Sorry. Okay, Sage, Dragon Sage. I said Sage. There's another Sage out there. Which one are you? Are you the drummer? Are you the singer? I want to call it a rift. Is that the tune I'm hearing? I'm really bad at this. Singer, right? To the left, my left. That's you killing it. That was fire. Say lit fire.
You can't touch this.
That was the wrong music. But still, the point being, yes, that was a skill level. I was already impressed with the one guitar sound. That's why I was like, ooh, intriguement. And then, halfway through the song, all of a sudden, what is that called? Is that called like a... I'm just saying it killed it, and it was screamed it, so to speak, with the guitar riff. Oh, that's what it reminds me of. The guy, Axl. Is that the guitarist from Guns N' Roses?
Axl Rose?
No, it's not. Slash. The guy's name is Slash. With the hair and the
That's
guitar.
Slash, yeah.
The big hair and the guitar. That was cool. There is another link. Is that Boots on the Ground? That's not a music. I was expecting another music video. He got some boots on the ground. He's doing something. I'm okay. Oh my gosh. This one.
He wants to go off-road!
I was like, where the hell did that sound come from? I thought I clicked something. Oh my gosh. I'm okay. I like
Till
cemeteries.
1854.
I don't have issues.
That's beauty.
I like cemeteries. That is cool.
Jerry Gatehouse.
Am I still looping? Or lagging? Does the sound okay?
I think you're good.
Have a little walk around it and show you some pretty neat mausoleums, I guess they're called.
Yeah, I always
Over
can't remember
here.
either. I think they're mausoleums.
They are in the back over there.
That's a cool cemetery.
Hamilton Cemetery. Across the street from a place pretty interesting too.
Where is this located?
Building is awesome.
Ooh, sunlight. Wait, the sun rays.
These are not really interesting to me.
That is so cool. There's so much going on. And it's on a hill.
Some pretty old gravestones here, starting in the early 1800s.
You have to do a lot of maintenance to maintain those
With,
headstones
anchor
on a hill.
pointing up. Look up. Don't look up.
Don't look up. That's right. Don't look up. Oh, moon! Cemeteries and the moon. Popcorn.
And this is beautiful, but what I'm confused by is on the backside here. Why would you build this other mausoleum? This hill. It's just a hill.
Backfill.
And then bury it. Bury the backside.
Oh, all I heard was, why would you build a hill? Question. But yeah. So it was more like a tomb. Because they buried it? Very hilly.
See, here's
Because
here's
earth
the back of
creeps,
it. It's the hill.
it can push heavy objects up, rocks,
Landscaped.
follow it.
There's the moon again.
That is awesome.
But as we come around the hill, oh goodness.
So is it like a crypt that you have to walk down into?
This thing.
Wow.
In the back.
That's a gold mine.
And then the newer facade on the front. The Tuckett family.
Nantucket.
Wow.
I'm on a field trip. 4 minutes is too short.
So odd. Why would you build it and then bury the back of it? What's underneath that hill? Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, they do.
It's a pretty cool cemetery. It's very big. Lots of old graves.
A she shell. What is a she shell?
Yeah, just thought I'd share that with y'all. That was it.
Well, thanks. That was cool. I'm gonna go back to one of these. This type of headstone, that's like an obelisk type shape. I have come across some I haven't just seen them. I went boots on the ground. Some of them are made out of not tin. I'm going to say iron. And they piece them together like a 3D puzzle. And I wasn't sure from far away, some of them look like they're still like a stone or something, but some of them are pieced together. And I want to call it 3D puzzle. I think that's what I'm comparing it to. And they're tin because I was like tapping it with my nails and then I knocked on it because it's gong gong. It makes it sometimes. They're hollow inside, but they look like a stone from far away, or they're just like, you would think the whole thing, at least I didn't think it was hollow. But they're old too, the older ones. They're not chintzy. They're not cheap. In the sense of they're not like flimsy cheap. So, all right, that was an awesome bonus share. Thanks, Dragon Sage. Heck yeah, punchline.
Yes, indeed.
What was the punchline? So the description, the description links are in the box below. No, they're not. They're in chat. Yeah, like I said, we jumped in, dipping our toes wet. So that's going to wrap it up for now. Thanks, y'all, for hanging out. This is a lot better with my better half than me doing it solo, no matter. Still getting buffered
A little bit.
by the minute. So we're going to end it there. Thanks a lot. We're going to roll them. It's not even credits. It's just an outro. Roll it, roll it, roll it. Roll it.
All right, everybody.
Rolling down the river. Do, do, do.
Sending to outer space to find another race. I'm gonna send into outer space to find another race.
Hello, boys! I'm back! Wow, it's hot!
Don't ask questions. And
after you, no, you first.
When you tell somebody something, it depends on what part of the United States you're standing in as to just how dumb you are.
Grandma, you can't just kick me out. I can too.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
If you were waiting for the opportune moment, that was it.